today I'm going to be walking you through my skincare routine. I have been trying so hard to get my skin to a point where I love it. I really like my skin right now, but I'm just not that confident without makeup. I'm still working on that. My skin it's a constant battle. It's a lot of hormonal breakouts and stuff that I can't quite get under control. But as for just like in general, my skin has been doing so well. It's typically just that time of month that my skin goes crazy, or if I'm under a lot of stress, that tends to make my skin flare up a bit. But besides that, my skin has been doing so well recently, so I thought I would share with you some tips and tricks as to how I've kind of cleared my skin, as well as just my overall skincare routine. So I'm going to start off by telling you a little bit about my skin. I definitely am more on the sensitive skin side. It's not like crazy sensitive, but it's definitely a lot more sensitive than I would like. So that just means that there's a lot of products out there that I have to be aware of because of my skin, because either I'll break out or it'll cause like bumps and like all sorts of issues like that I don't enjoy. So I think I've gotten my skincare routine down to like almost a science at this point. So keep in mind, I do have a different routine for night and for morning. As well as I kind of have a different routine for when I have makeup on, as opposed to when I do not have makeup on. So I am going to start off with when I'm wearing a full face of makeup. So I actually start off with the Garnier Skin Active Micellar Cleansing Water. This is the all-in-one removes makeup, even waterproof mascara, plus cleanses and refreshes. I use this on like a cotton ball or cotton round or whatever. I really want to get those reusable cotton rounds because I know they're so much more environmentally friendly. But as of now, I don't. So I just use a cotton ball and I kind of soak it. And what I'll do, I don't like to just start like rubbing at my eye. I like to kind of soak my eyes in them or in it. So I'll just close my eyes and kind of hold it over my eye for a little bit, just to kind of get the mascara to kind of loosen up a little bit. So I'll do this eye, kind of hold it on that eye, hold it on this eye, and then I'll go in rubbing ever so gently, just to get off all of the eye makeup. So after that, I actually am a type of person that I like to double cleanse when I have foundation, like full glam on, any kind of makeup on. I always double cleanse. So what I do first is, after I've removed my eye makeup, is I actually go in with the Glamglow gentlebubble daily conditioning cleanser. This one is actually really good. It doesn't like lather and stuff like that, which I really love a lather, but this one, it just works for my skin. So this is the one I've been using and loving. And basically I will just wet my skin, put a dollop of that in my hand, rub it together and rub it on my face, just making sure that I get all the foundation off, and then I will rinse. And what I do after that is I actually use a cleansing oil. So this, for my like sensitive skin, is perfect. I absolutely love it. I love this brand actually, and it is super affordable. I'll actually have all the products like linked down below so you can go check them out. You probably don't want to switch up your whole routine, but there might be something in here that I talk about that you actually want to try out. I definitely have a lot of masks that I'm going to talk about that have helped my skin. So yeah, just keep in mind, I'll have it all linked down below. This is the cleansing oil that I use though. And basically what I do is I drip a little bit, like a little drop on my cheek, other cheek, on my forehead, and I actually go in with a skincare spin system, which this one is actually great, and they kindly sent it over, and they actually gave me a coupon code for you guys, which I think is great. It's 70% off. You can check out, I think they have I'll put on screen what all you can purchase with the 70% off coupon, and I'll put the coupon on screen as well. It is Glamour with 2 M's, but basically this has some different settings and stuff. So there's a higher speed and a gentler speed. I keep it on the more gentle speed, just because my skin is super sensitive. That's what works better for me. But it is super nice to go ahead and like remove everything, just like all the impurities, just to get down deep into your pores. I think it's great, and I think you guys will love it too, so definitely check that out. It'll be linked down below, and again, use the code and snag it for 70% off. That's a great deal. So after I've done my cleansing, I go in with moisturizer and oil, and the way that I use, these are some high dollar ones, I know. This is the 111 Skin Cryo Activating Hydrogel. It is like, I want to say $200, so it is really good and I really love it, but also there are some other like moisturizers and stuff that I've tried, even from the drugstore, that I really like. I have one that I'll put a picture of it on screen, from the drugstore, that I really enjoy, but it's not a dupe for this. It's a good one, and it definitely moisturizes and stuff like that, but I wouldn't say that it is like similar to this. I mean, it's a moisturizer, so like it's similar in that aspect. it moisturizes your face, but it is a lot cheaper, so keep that in mind. The LMS Pro Collagen Rose Facial Oil is it's a soothing facial oil. This is the one that I've currently been using. So I just use these together. I know they're both very expensive. I did get them in Ipsy and BoxyCharm. So I think they're great. If you have the money, maybe go get them. If you don't, there are definitely other options out there that are a lot more affordable. But basically how I use them is I just kind of do it at the same time. So I think typically, you know, you're supposed to do your moisturizer and then the oil. I just kind of mix them together, so like in my hand, and then rub it all in, and that seems to work for me. Sometimes on days that I'm feeling a bit more fancy, have a lot more time to get ready for bed, I will actually use a little face roller, jade roller. What are they called? I already forgot, but basically I just use this and I will go over my skin, always pushing up. I never want to push the skin like down, but I just kind of like go over my forehead, go over my cheeks, and then I'll use this side and I just kind of roll right here. I don't roll like under right there, just kind of like outwards right there, and I really enjoy doing that. It's not a necessity. I just think that it's just nice, and I do feel like it kind of just almost sculpts everything in a sense. It's obviously not like a life changer. You don't need it, but it is kind of nice, and I do feel a lot better whenever I do use it more frequently, versus whenever I just keep forgetting to use it or whatever. I do feel like it reduces a bit of puffiness as well, which is just, it's just a plus, you know? So that is kind of my nightly routine. I do add in like a mask here and there, and I'm about to talk about a few masks that I do, as well as actually a spot treatment that I use. This actually isn't a spot treatment, but that's how I use it, so I'll kind of talk about that. But I first want to go over my morning routine. So basically, it's nothing fancy. Like, it's literally just 2 products and that's it. So I just basically use this. I do not use this twice a day. My skin can't handle it. It is too sensitive to use that much. So I basically just wet my face, rub the oil in, rinse it off, and then I use the Simple Sensitive Skin Experts Protecting Lightweight Moisturizer with SPF 15. Sometimes whenever I know that I'm not going to be going out, I don't bother with an SPF. I'll just use like my regular moisturizer that I'm using at the moment, so I would just put this one on. They both work great under makeup. Like, they don't bother it at all, so that's nice. I just find that some SPFs tend to break me out. So this is actually a great one that doesn't break me out. So if you tend to break out when it comes to SPF on the face, try this one out. Hopefully it would work for you, because it works for me, and I do have sensitive skin when it comes to SPF. I've had a lot of SPFs break me out, and it's not fun, especially in the summer when you're going makeup free a lot more often, and that's typically when you like really load up on SPF. So then your face just breaks out, and then it's like, ooh, but now I have to cover it all up, but you want to go makeup free because summer and sweat and all that. But this is one that works for me, so give it a try. Okay, so the spot treatment that I actually use, and I will actually like use this over and over and over again on the same spot until basically it disappears. If I find them early enough, then they typically don't even come to the surface, which is what I really love. This is the Hollywood, California Glamglow Super Mud Clearing Treatment. So this is actually a you can use it as a full-on mask. But again, my sensitive skin doesn't like acne treatment gels. Basically, anytime I've ever used one, I can put it on, like I'll have one spot right here or something. I'll put it on, wear it overnight, and then wake up and I'll have 2 or 3 more, and it's literally the worst. And for the longest time, I didn't know like why that would happen, and I would continue to do it, like continue to put an acne treatment gel on, because I'm like, oh, I have a spot, that's gonna help. When in reality, it was never helping, and it was just causing more breakouts. I don't understand why. I still don't know why that happens. If you know why that happens, let me know in the comments down below, because it's beyond me. So I actually use this as a spot treatment. So if I feel one coming up, which actually a little trick of mine, whenever I'm doing this and like really rubbing this on my face, like cleaning all the makeup off, I will really be aware of like what all is on my skin. So I will feel every little bump, because there's sometimes when you can look in the mirror and you won't see anything, but a lot of times you can feel when they're coming, especially the more painful ones. Like you can definitely feel those ones coming. I have a more painful one coming, I think. So I definitely am gonna zap that away with this, but I mean, it works so well, and typically they're gone within like a few days. So I'm gonna talk about some masks actually. So I think one of my favorite ones that I'm gonna talk about first is the Ordinary AHA 30% plus BHA 2% peeling solution. We actually did a Mask Monday on this, and I loved it. It really worked for me. But my mom actually didn't, and I was so shocked. You'll have to go check out that video to know why she didn't like it, but I loved it. It really worked for me. I thought at first, because you don't see initial results, and typically like you put on a mask, you take it off, and you kind of can feel like, oh, my skin feels a lot more nourished or whatever, but there were no results initially. But it was the morning after I looked at my skin, and I have skin where when I have a breakout, it sticks around. Like I have that little spot, like the little discoloration from where it was, and that has bothered me for years, because some of them will last for months and months, and I've never found really anything that got rid of it, you know. And I used this, and it started they started disappearing, and I was just like in shock over it. I absolutely love this. I was using it 1 to 2 times weekly. I have kind of backed off to using it 1 time every week or every other week, just because I don't need it as often, although I've gotten a few spots that maybe they need a little extra TLC, but I love this product. If you have those spots that you just can't seem to get rid of, try that out. it worked wonders for me. So I'm actually going to talk about a few other masks kind of all at once. I've got the Elemis Superfood Vital Veggie Mask. This one is like so good. It's so nourishing. It's like almost a cleansing mask, but also a moisturizing mask all in one. So I really love that. If my skin is feeling a little extra dry, but also needs a little extra clarifying, I'll throw this one on. If my skin needs more moisture, I'll throw this one on. This is the Ahava Hydration Cream Mask. And a little trick is actually multi-mask. A lot of people don't think to do it. I know for the longest time I didn't think to do it. So if there's parts of your skin that need like a cleansing mask, throw on a cleansing mask just where you need it. And then if there's parts where it needs a little extra moisture, throw on a moisturizing mask where you need it. And I mean, a moisturizing mask, it might say to leave it on for, you know, a few minutes. It's not gonna necessarily hurt you to leave it on longer. Whereas something like this, I wouldn't recommend multi-masking with it, because if you have a mask that says, oh, leave it on for 20 minutes, this you only need to leave on for 10, and I would say do not leave it on any longer than that, because this is a very strong, I mean, you open it up and you can definitely smell chemicals. It almost smells like pool chemicals, like you're swimming in a pool. Anyways, next one is the Neutrogena Deep Clean Purifying Clay Cleanser / Mask. So I really like that it kind of gives you a choice whether you want to use it as a cleanser or as a mask. I've never used it as a cleanser, but it is an amazing mask. So if you are needing like a good cleanse, a good deep cleanse, like you feel like you maybe have makeup just like kind of in your pores, just stuck there, use this. It'll clear everything out. Your face will feel so cool, so clean. I always, if I'm just feeling like my face is dirty and it needs a little extra cleaning, this is what I go for. It is so good. So a little trick that I love doing actually is using a mask like this. This is the Generation Clay Urban Defense Purifying Pink Clay Mask. So this is one that it says refine, purify, brighten, and soothe. This is one, I feel like just about any clay mask is gonna do this. So I'm sure a lot of you have a clay mask, but you know how sometimes on your nose you have the little black spots? It's those blackheads like coming up to the surface. So what I absolutely love to do, I love to take my hot, steamy shower, throw on a mask like this. Typically, I'll do it, if I know I'm gonna do this trick that I'm talking about, I'll just typically do it over the nose. And then this is when I would multi-mask. I'll do that mask plus like something like this, or like the hydration mask or whatever. And then when I rinse that off, I will go ahead and use a Biore strip on my nose. And since this mask has already brought a lot of the blackheads up to the surface, when you put this on, all this has to do now is just latch onto them and it pulls them right out. I've used so many tips and tricks on how to use like Biore strips or any kind of nose strip or whatever. I've used so many like tricks where you like scrub your nose with a toothbrush, or you exfoliate before you do it, or you know, you have steam like in your face to open up the pores. That's the tip with the shower, like doing it after showering, because when your pores are opened, it is a lot easier to get all that stuff out. But I mean, nothing has worked as good as this trick. So if you guys try it, let me know, because it is like a life changer for me. I absolutely love doing that. So moving on to a exfoliator. I actually, since I have sensitive skin, I can't typically use exfoliators. A lot of them are way too harsh for my skin. And it took me forever to find one that worked for me. But this is the Elemis Superfood Blackcurrant Jelly Exfoliator. And it's just harsh enough. I don't want to say harsh because it's not harsh at all, but it's like it exfoliates enough that it gets, like, my skin feels smooth and I feel clean, but it's also not so harsh that it breaks me out, because exfoliators have a tendency to do that to me. So if you have trouble with exfoliating and it breaks you out or causes like little bumps, guys, I have dealt with like under the skin bumps like so many times because I've used the wrong product, and then it takes literally, like, it takes one product one day to mess up your skin for like 3 weeks, and it's like, it's so unfair. But this is a really good one. If you have very sensitive skin and you cannot find a good exfoliator, this is probably the one for you. I think it's a little up there in price, but it's so worth it. It's so good, and it's never caused me to break out. So if you need a good exfoliant, try this one. So I'm going to quickly go over a few tips that I have. So one of them is obviously multi-masking, as I already mentioned, but as well as multi-masking, just make sure you have a few different types of masks. A lot of people use masks just to kind of like do an extra cleanse of the skin, but sometimes your face really needs like more moisture or whatever, and really pay attention to what your skin is needing. That's really going to benefit you in the long run, because if you're giving your skin the attention that it needs and you're giving it the products that it needs when it needs it, then that's really just, it's only going to benefit you. Another tip that I have is actually when you are in the shower, I always cleanse in the shower. I'm a morning shower person, so that's typically whenever I do my morning cleanse. I do take a hotter shower. It does get a little steamy, and I know hotter showers are not the best for your skin, so if you can handle a cooler shower, that's actually recommended, but I can't. But one tip is actually put the cleanser on and leave it for a little bit. If it's a harsher cleanser, I wouldn't recommend doing it, but I use a cleansing oil. And so basically I will put the oil on and I will go about doing everything else I need to do. Typically I'll go ahead and wash my hair, condition, and throw it up in a bun. And then I will cleanse my face, let it sit while I wash my body and everything, and then I will go ahead and rinse my face and my body at the same time. And that seems to really work for me. I actually stopped doing that for a while, where I would just like cleanse, rinse it off, and my skin didn't like it very much. So I think that that's a good thing to do, is to just let it kind of set, let it kind of soak in, let it do its deep little cleanse. And yeah, give it a try, and hopefully it works for you. So I think that's actually it for my skincare routine and all my tips and tricks to clearer skin. Hopefully you guys learned something from this. Hopefully you guys maybe try something out, and if you do, let me know in the comments down below. But if you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to our channel down below, and I'll actually have 2 other videos listed right over there that you can check out. So until next video, bye!